Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rankem, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm the host, Big B, alongside the guy that lives halfway across the world, Tim Hendricks. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Halfway around the world. Seems like I'm still right next door sometimes. I don't know. We got a nice, good extra week in May, so we kind of had to figure something out on the fly there.
Well, and we had to figure out something on the fly backstage because we were talking about one of our categories, and you had a different site that I went to, and anyways, we're here. We got a plethora of, or a potpourri of topics today, not just kind of one, but assortment, and want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. Thank you for everybody who served, who is serving, who fought for our country. First comment up, Ryan, thank you, because I know you were a big part of our military, so thank you. So, anyway, so let's move it on. Today is May 30th, so we are going to do birthdays for May 30th today. Funny thing is that was one of our production questions yesterday because we were going to do the 29th, but we already did the 29th. So let's move to May 30th. We like to predict how many we're going to come up with. I don't know. I'd say 2. I don't know. It was tough.
I might say 3.
You might say 3.
I might say 3.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I know I got a curveball in there, and if you went with the curveball, then I'll be shocked. But 3 could be pushing it. 2, I think, for sure. So you're number 5.
My number 5. If my memory serves me right, he was drafted by the Cleveland Indians, or as they would now want to be called, the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
Good thing he didn't get drafted by the Wisconsin or the Washington Redskins, Commanders, or whatever they're going to be called next year.
Yeah, that's true.
But his claim to fame was that he played outfield for the Boston Red Sox and was known to go into the Green Monster to use the bathroom in between outs. I love the guy. I love the way he played. I got lucky to see him play in Tampa when he was with the Red Sox. I like him. He was just a lot of fun. Then he went on to play for the Dodgers, I want to say. And that's Manny Ramirez.
I think you're a day off there, bud.
What? Oh, don't tell me that.
Because I had a... Oh, okay. Huh, that's weird. Okay. Oh, no, okay. Nope, I see what I did wrong. All right. I was making notes. All right. Well, that... Because I have them on my list, too, but I was rewriting it. And so I'm going to take Manny Ramirez as my number 5, too, because that kicks off one of my curveballs that doesn't make sense. So number 5, Manny Ramirez. Like you said, he was... I actually kind of liked his swing. It was, for a right-hander, kind of...
It was kind of like a
lucky swing. Nice and smooth.
Kind of like a loopy lefty type swing.
But like you said, everybody's now hearing the stories that in between batters or downtime, he'd run into the Green Monster and take care of some business. So, yeah. All right, you're number 4.
As a lot of people know, I'm a big Florida Gator fan. My brother's gonna say, "Well, you didn't grow up a Florida Gator fan," but that's cool. But I love the Florida Gators, and to be in Florida at the time of what they officially ended up calling the Gator Slam, when we won the NCAA championship in basketball, then football, then basketball again in the same count within the same 12 months. It's a difficult feat to do. Now he went to Oklahoma City, I believe, afterwards. And now I think he's with the Chicago Bulls now, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if he's head coaching them, but
I know he was there.
I know he was there,
but I'm not really quite sure. And that's Billy Donovan. One of the few people to actually win an NCAA tournament as a player and as a coach.
Oh yeah, he is coaching. He is coaching them.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, no, I don't have a Billy Donovan autograph. I've got an Urban Meyer autograph, but I don't have a Billy Donovan.
Yeah. No, I saw Donovan. I figured you'd throw him on there. I kept him off my list because of my curveball here. So this is probably the first time that we're gonna have cricket be one of our people here. But I got two because I kind of tied them together because list one, might as well list them both. George Headley and Bob Willis, two cricket players from over in England and over that way. I had to look up because one says fast bowler. I wanted to know what that was, and it looks like it's that pitchy or whatever, whatever they want. I guess it's called a fast bowler. But give it up to cricket today. We got cricket on the show. All right. So Ryan Hendricks said he smoked a cigarette with Bill Donovan. All right.
Well, yeah, he was he I think I want to say that he catered. I was at the same place because I helped him set up for a catering job for Alan Dershowitz, and Billy Donovan and I want to say Urban Meyer were both there. Of course, I never met either one of them. I wasn't lucky enough. That's my cousin.
All right. All right. Welcome, Teresa. We do the show every Tuesday or Wednesday. I mean, we try to do it every Tuesday, and you can also see Tim if you want to join in on Morning Tailgate on Saturdays.
Sundays.
So, or on deck Tuesdays. Oh, man. On deck on Saturdays, Morning Tailgate on Sundays during the football season.
This is why
so that was
is necessary.
Number 3.
Who was your number 4?
My number 4 was the combination of the.
Oh yeah. So my number 3. There's. I think if this man didn't wrestle another person in the WWE, this other person wouldn't have become famous.
Ooh.
I think. Matter of fact, it was in Milwaukee at King of the Ring.
Oh. Okay.
And Stone Cold doesn't say you thump your Bibles and your John 3:16s after he had just got done beating my number 3. I don't think Stone Cold Steve Austin becomes Stone Cold Steve Austin, and my number 3 is Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yes, no, that was probably one of the biggest outbreak moments in wrestling right there. My number 3 is a former running back. One of the names that first popped up when I saw it, I was going to pass on him, and birthdays just today was kind of tough, so I threw him in there at number 3. Former Chicago Bear, Gale Sayers. My number 3. Your number 2.
Of course. If it's C2C Rankem, guess what happens? I go first. And I take mine, but if I always get mine comes up later, you always seem to take it the pick before.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like fantasy football drafts live. But yeah, I think he famously came up with the term "all I need is 3 feet in the cloud of dust." He was outside of the fact is that he was probably the second best running back to play for the Chicago Bears. He's well known for Brian's song with him and Brian Piccolo.
Nope.
I believe Gail is still with us, isn't he?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Well,
Couple
good
years
thing
ago.
couple years ago. But yeah, my number 2 is your number 3, Gail Sayers.
Yep. And my number 2 is your number 3, Jake Roberts. See, it's not C2C if we don't flip flop parts there. So yeah, like you said, Jake Roberts. I mean, he has some iconic battles, but yeah, him and Austin. I mean, but him and Ravishing Rick Rude was another one too that kind of upstarted Jake's career. Number 1. This is the one I thought for sure we'd have number 1, but we'll see.
Okay. I know I have a conversation. We it seems like every time we do a birthday one, I kind of bring up, we always talk about when I used to go on trips with my family that we always listen to country music.
Your brother brings up a good one I kind of forgot about.
Yeah, I forgot about the snake bite too. But probably the best mother-daughter duo in country music history. Her sister was married to Dario Franchitti, the F1 driver. Her mom passed away 2 years ago, a year ago or 2 years ago.
Okay.
And probably one of my favorite female duo country artists, probably of all time, in the Judds. And my number 1 is Winona Judd.
Yeah, that's my number 1 too. So you were right. We got 3, but yeah, Winona Judd, one of those voices that are iconic. Like you said, mother-daughter duo definitely took over country scenes. But yeah,
we had 4.
We have 4.
Manny Ramirez, Jake Roberts.
Oh, Manny Ramirez. Yeah, that's right. 4. You are right, man. It's too early. You're right. We had 4. The only one we didn't have was our number
Billy
4.
Donovan.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's move on to. Well, let's go to songs because this is one that I'm kind of interested in now because of the link you gave me backstage. Because the songs I had listed weren't down there, even though I googled and those are the songs I brought up. So. Even your cousin said the Judge. I mean, yeah, that was the name I first saw, and I'm like, well, this has to be in there. Didn't know it was gonna be number 1, but all right. I will go first, so you can start sniping some of my picks. My number 5 song.
How many do you think we've got?
How many do you think? I don't know because you talk backstage. I mean. Like you said, we could have done. You're going 2. I'll go 3 this time, because I didn't get to see the whole video, so I was just picking numbers up. But I'll go first. My number 5, is in the Navy. I mean, you kind of hear that song, you're kind of singing along with it, quietly, for most people. So, you're number 5.
My number 5. Probably one of the biggest collaborations in music history. The video is so with so many people, and you watch and you're looking at people that are just absolute icons in the music business, and then out of nowhere is Dan Aykroyd. Why in the world is Dan Aykroyd in the video for this song? And it's We Are the World, USA for America.
I'm going to have to go rewatch it because I don't remember Dan Aykroyd being in that.
Dan Aykroyd is in there. I think he's standing right next to, I want to say he's standing next to Clapton.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to go check that out. But, yeah. Makes me want to go watch it now. My number 4, probably one of the coolest guys now and back then. I was watching Crossroads, and it might have been a tribute actually, and Kenny Rogers went on stage and said that if there was a song you wanted to be famous or had an idea for, you pitch it to this guy and he instantly can make it. That's Lionel Richie, and the song I brought up is "Hello." So
I saw
you're
that one.
you're number 3.
I'm
No,
gonna
number 4. I'm sorry.
number
I'm
4
doing-
because you went first. Because
Yeah.
we went gentlemen's rounds.
Yeah.
If I were to, and I know there's a person in that's now watching us. Hopefully, he's still watching us. If I were to say a couple brothers who recorded this song under the name Sweetleaf, I almost want to guarantee it. He'll tell you the song. We sung it terribly. Okay, I sung it terribly. um, I did very poorly on this song, but it's also one of the most recognizable songs in not just rock and roll history, but regular history, in music history, and that's Hotel California by the Eagles.
Good song. That is a good song. My number 3, and because I was writing down so quick, I forgot to write down the artist, and I know I should know the artist, but it's just one of those songs you hear on too, and you just kind of sing along if you know the words a little bit, even if it's just 2 words. It's Ebony and Ivory.
And the funny thing is, we talked about that just before, saying that we could have put 5 Beatles on here, and then all of a sudden we're like, yeah, then there's a Beatles on there with Steve McCartney, with Paul, with Stevie Wonder, and that's Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. Yeah.
Yep. You're number 3. Like I remember.
You took a quarter of my thunder because you brought in Paul McCartney with Ebony and Ivory. But I went with one. This is again, it's another one of those songs that you sing, you hear it, and you instantly sing it, and it's one of those kind of full throat songs. You kind of sing it, and then when everybody hears it, it's not when you sing it, nobody else sings with you. It's one of those songs where you sing it and everybody else starts singing it right along with you, and that's the Beatles' "Let It Be."
Yep. No, I like that one. Number 2, I gotta remember I'm first. If I did not put this singer's song on my list, my aunt who is watching over us would probably turn over and make it Thunder. So I had to put one of my favorite Elvis songs on here is Heartbreak Hotel. And again, there's we could do. I mean, really, we could do a whole show of Elvis songs and movies, and So my number 2 is Heartbreak Hotel.
My number 2, probably one of the greatest love songs that came out in the last. I just had this. We just talked about this backstage. In the last 25, 26 years. Truthfully, I don't think. If Titanic doesn't hit as big, I don't think this song hits as big either. When you hear Titanic, the first thing you think of, you don't think of Leonardo DiCaprio or Kate Winslet and Jack and Rose and Rose not letting Jack on the door because there's not enough room. Ooh, there's enough room. And that's My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
Yeah. Now that you are right. When it comes to Titanic, that is the song or first thing. My number 1 is your number 5. Every time I hear that song, get choked up and sing along with it. Like you said, probably one, if not the only biggest collaborations. I know they've redone the song with different people in there, but We Are the World. When that song came out, that was just, I don't know how it did not stay at number 1 forever. I mean, it's a song that I think nowadays we need to play more often and, kind of get us back into understanding that, we need to stick together and stuff like that. So, yeah, We Are the World. You're number 1.
So, how you said we've only got one?
Yep.
And I said at the beginning that we're going to have two.
Yep.
Guess what? My
Your
number
number
one
one.
is my number one is your number two.
Yep.
I saw Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis, and I thought, that had to be number one. We could have did all five of my songs. We were saying in the back, all five of my songs could have been Elvis. All five of my songs could have been the Beatles. All five of my songs could have been Madonna,
Yep.
because my number 6 is Like a Prayer by Madonna. You
Yep.
could have. I've got a number 7. I got In the Club by 50 Cent. I mean, that it just seemed like May had so many good songs. It was so hard to pick.
And those were just the number ones. I mean, just think if we try to find the number 2s, number 3s. I mean, what they could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Jump, you had Informer, you had. They could have went many different ways. So, all right. So let's move into movies in the month of May of all time. This one is another topic I think, we could have, done 10, 15, maybe a whole show. So top movies in May, I'll let you go first. Number 5.
Number 5, I've got 2.
Okay.
Only because of the name. And it's just funny that two of the 4 movies of this franchise came out in May. And the funny thing is, when you finish overlooking my list, the one major actor is in five of my movies.
Oh wow.
It's funny. It's great because I love the third one. When they bring in Sean Connery to play his dad. It's amazing to see how Harrison Ford continued on the character, and the little nods to Star Wars that Spielberg puts in because his executive producer is George Lucas, like in Temple of Doom, where all of a sudden the big scene at the beginning of the movie takes place in Club Obi-Wan, which is hilarious. A movie much like We Are the World. Why in the world is Dan Aykroyd in the second one? Because he's got no right being in the second movie. And that's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Okay. Yeah, I saw those on there, and like I said, my list was growing. I had to cut it off somewhere. But no, I saw, and you are right, because there's actually a few movies, and they made my list that were made in May, sequels and stuff like that. My number 5, not that I'm a big fan of this movie, the actor definitely is a good actor, but there's bits and pieces of it you see in memes. I know a lot of people love this movie. I believe it was a book. I could be wrong. But Mel Gibson in the 1995 Braveheart is my number 5.
and by the way, he's got that wrong. If the 4th one isn't on June 30th, the 5th one is.
Oh, calling out Ryan. Uh-oh.
Because he's going to start an argument going, how is it the 5th one? And I'll tell him how it's the 5th one. Don't worry.
All right, you're number 4.
It wouldn't be C2C Rankem if you don't pick a pick before mine. And my number 4 is my number 4 is your number 5, Braveheart.
I have a feeling I'm going to snipe another one here down the road here.
Oh, you're going to should snipe a couple if you're good.
Yeah. So, yeah, Braveheart, I mean, it's just an iconic movie. I've probably seen some of it. I haven't seen it all, but there is, you talk about Easter eggs or stuff that should be in there. There is a scene, I believe it's in Braveheart, where they show a minivan off in the corner. People have pointed that out as they rewatch it. You don't catch it the first time through, but there's like a minivan off in the back somewhere in one of the fight scenes.
Oh, now I gotta watch again.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's Braveheart. I could be wrong on that movie, but my number 4. When you start talking about actors that could be in possible multi movies, here's one that I had. A funny movie, and I think this really set this character or this actor's career. I know somebody will say that, well, he was in 2 other movies that were pretty good. Yeah, but I think this character, because he played in each movie, I think he played 2 or 3 different ones. And that's 1997's Man of Mystery, Austin Powers.
I agree. I agree. I think it really made his career. The funny thing about the Austin Powers, I think it was the second one. A person who went to school with Ryan, that was Ryan's graduating class, and I did a couple community musicals with the guy. He's no longer with us. Was an amazing person to act in, but he acted in the second one of the in the second Austin Powers. Which one was it? That one was there was International Man of Mystery. There was Goldmember was it was in the second one.
The Spy Who Shagged Me, or
Spy Who Shagged Me. Yeah, the International Man of Mystery was the first one.
Yep.
The Spy Who Shagged Me was in the second one. Jimmy was in the second one.
Okay.
He was actually one of the people who there's a beginning scene where Austin Powers is doing photographs, is doing models.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
And he's the gentleman with the spray, the hairspray in his hand, and you see him briefly. He's blonde hair. He was a hell of a talent, and it just sucks. I liked working with him, but yeah, he was in that movie.
All right. So you're number 3 then.
Way to bring the show down, Tim.
No, that's cool. I mean, it's always cool. I mean, to hear, kind of tie-ins, but you're number 3.
My number 3, to me, to this day, is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. Probably one of the best action movies, not in the typical version of action movies. You find out that, 2 of the actors that did this movie died either after they finished shooting or after they finished shooting their stuff or further on. And I think this movie really this was the movie that made Russell Crowe really put Russell Crowe into the limelight, into the class A, the A list, as the Miz likes to call himself, as the A-lister. Russell Crowe was the A-lister, and that's Gladiator.
I didn't see that one. I didn't know anybody died in that one.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, there was the guy who played Dumbledore in the first Harry Potter movies was in he played the king. He played the emperor, and he died after he finished filming. And then the guy, the Rex Reed, the man who was the slave owner that told the former gladiator, saying the only way you can get out is if you win your freedom. He died not too much after that either.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right. So my number 3 now, Tim, you talked about movies being made, in the same month, different years. I got a trilogy here for you. And I enjoyed watching them. I know I'm an adult, but, to get Eddie Murphy, I want to say Cameron Diaz and Mike Myers all together to do a animated movie series turned out phenomenal, and that is Shrek 1, 2, and 3.
I saw that.
I didn't really care for the third one, but the first 2 were definitely good shows. So you're number 2.
I saw that list, and
yeah. I mean, just to put them all at the same time. I mean, I know, and we might do it, but July 4th is always Will Smith Day because he brings out his movies all the time. All right, you're number 2.
My number 2. You went animation with your number 3, so I went animation with my number 2. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times I quoted this movie. To me, one of Pixar's best movies of all time. And to see that they made a sequel, yeah, they made a sequel, but it didn't come out in May, or it had probably been on this list too. And you realize it, you know, you find out that this takes place in Australia, not too far off Australia. It's about little fish and touching and little fish with a really bad flipper goes up and touches the butt. We all know it's a boat. And that's Finding Nemo.
I did see that one, and that kind of brings me back to Tim Fielder's comment earlier. He just saw Little Mermaid, and now he wants fish and chips. I did see Finding Nemo on there. That is a cute little movie. I do enjoy that one. I thought for a minute when you said you don't know how many times you quoted the movie, I'm like, man, did I miss Lion King?
Lion King's in June. Lion King is June. I know it is.
So my number 2, in this trilogy, or I should say even a trilogy, because now they've made so many different movies out of it. So series of movies. These were the first 2. I'm going to say. I know one's the first one, but 3. Okay, you must know where I'm going with this. But
so does Ryan. So does Ryan, because he's the one. He says, "I know my number 1."
But I have Star Wars and Return of the Jedi as my number 2. So I must have missed the third one in there somewhere. But yeah, no, I remember watching Star Wars and Return of the Jedi. To me, nothing could top those 3 in movies. So you're number 1. I guess we know where we're going.
Yeah, we know exactly where we're going. It was funny because, I think this was George Lucas's way of saying this is basically our kicking off to the summer. Star Wars: A New Hope came out May 25th, 1977. I want to say Empire Strikes Back came out May 21st in 1980. And then in 1983, Return of the Jedi came out in May, I want to say May 11th or May 10th of 1983. It's Star Wars. If Star Wars doesn't happen, I think a lot of things change. The 1, 2, and 3, the prequels came out in. I'm going to be wrong about this. I already know it. No, I'm not going to be wrong. They came out in August, and then the last 3 came out in December.
Okay. And the thing is I would love to see them keep the stories the same, but I'd like to see them modernize it with the technology they got and see what they can come up with.
They're pretty close. Right now, they're pretty close to where they should be.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see them do that with the technology and what they have, those original 3. My number 1, I'm a baseball guy. This movie plays, I watch it every time. Oh, and now they do an annual game where this movie took place. 1988, Field of Dreams.
I didn't even see that one.
I will Google check again, but
before people who are watching the show going, he's never seen Field of Dreams. I've seen Field of Dreams.
Yeah, we've all. If you're a baseball guy, you've seen.
Heck, if you're a sports guy, you've seen Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Let's see here if it tells me when it came out. Oh, I am way off. But it came up on my list on top movies. Maybe it was just because maybe it was number 1 in May. I don't know, but no, I am off. No, it says release date was May 5th, 1989.
Well, then you're covered.
I'm good. Fine. All right. But what did this one say? Because this one,
Just if you all else fails and you need to find out release dates, go to imdb.com. We are now officially sponsored by the Internet Movie Database.
Yeah. Because this one says release date was U.S. release date. Okay. All right. Well, May 5th. All right. I'm still good. So, yeah. So that was the movie. So let's move into. I'm going to say the last two or two of them for last. I guess it makes sense. Let's go to events and news stories. This one, I have a feeling we ain't going to have none because it was so much.
I'll be honest.
If
we should have our number one should be number one.
Ooh,
it should be.
Oh, I kind of wonder where you went. Yeah, Kevin Costner. Oh, Jason Barber's chiming in. Costner, yeah,
because Costner did.
Was good.
Costner did Field of Dreams, and he did For the Love of the Game, and he did Bull Durham.
Yep. No, all great baseball movies. Yeah. So, all right. So let's go to the events. You say our number one should be. Oh man, I'm trying to think of which way you went. If you went the way that you normally do in history, yes, then our number ones will be the same. But outside of that, if we go sports wise, I think we might have one or two. But I don't think we have. Tim's like, nope. All right. Nope. So let's go with it. Number 5.
My number 5, May 14th.
Okay.
The great day of May 14th. We're going to go all the way back to 1607.
All right. We're going history. All right.
We're doing some history lesson today, folks, because this is the kind of reason why we picked it. 1607. The British had come into the New World and had done all these wonderful things, but the one thing they had never done was put down a permanent settlement in the United States until May 14th, 1607, in a small little town called Jamestown, Virginia. So that is the first, technically the first city in the United States that was considered a permanent city.
Okay. I got that. All right. So mine, I did not write down the year because I forgot to. But we like and we all that love breakfast should honor this guy every day we make breakfast because I didn't write down who invented, but the toaster was invented. The first pop-up toaster was invented in May.
Really? Wow, I feel like I'm lacking at this point.
Oh no, you're going to kill me in some of these, but all right. So number 4.
All right, these are going chronologically backwards on the calendar, but they jump all over the year.
All right.
May 10th, 1994.
Okay.
It's something big happened in a country called South Africa. And it was pretty monumentous. The guy who fought against apartheid, who got prison, who was supposed to do life in prison in Johannesburg. And Nelson Mandela was inaugurated as the president of South Africa.
I actually did see that one. I'm not the history buff like you are to bring the show, so I can't steal all your thunder. So my number 4, and I believe this was her first TV appearance. And of course, if you go on this day, it's one of the highlighted things on there, so it had to have been important. 1962, Barbara Streisand appears on the Gary Moore Show.
Didn't even see that.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
I'm not a Streisand fan, but
I'm not either. But hey, I know who she is, and throw it out there. So, all right, number 3,
May 6th, 1937. A day that will live. Well, no, that happened. That happened in December, if I'm not mistaken. We can't say that a day that that lived in infamy, because that would be a complete lie.
Yeah.
But there is a famous line that came from this day, and people who wonder where we get the phrase "Oh, the humanity." Well, we get it from this day, May 6, 1937, and that's when the Hindenburg blew up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. My number 3. We're going into sports here. Baseball. 1984. The Red Sox retire Joe Cohen's number 4, and they also retired number 9, Ted Williams' number.
Oh, I see you led with the guy with a lot of name recognition.
Yeah.
You just left Ted Williams to go at the wayside.
No, I put Ted Williams at the end. So, well, I figured, if I catch somebody like Jason who'd be like, "You're not going to say Ted Williams? He's number retired," because Jason's another one that has a lot of sports facts. So, all right, number 2.
This is the man. This is one of the. We're gonna go back to May 5th.
All right.
1961. This man was a member of the Right Stuff, the group that was coined to go and try to become the first people in the United States to go to the moon, to go to space. And one of these great American heroes and of the space race was Alan Shepard, and he was the first American to go to space.
Okay.
Somebody's got to be the first one.
Yep, exactly. And somebody's got to break some records. My number 2, 1990, Ricky Henderson breaks the stolen base record from Ty Cobb, stealing third. The most exciting thing that ever happened in Oakland A's baseball since then, because they can't draw nothing. It's sad when they got to talk about them breaking an 11-game winning streak and put that on ESPN. So, Ricky
They had
Henderson
an 11-game winning streak?
record.
Wait, when did Oakland have an 11-game winning streak?
Losing streak, I mean. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I can't tell you last time they had a winning streak of 2. So
I thought I fell asleep and Rick Van Winkle did for 70 years.
I think they'll have 11 victories.
Yeah.
All right, you're number 1. You said that this should be number 1, so we'll see.
All right. We have to go for my May. We have to go back a little further back.
Okay.
September 11th, 2001.
Okay, we're going back. We're not in
We're
May
going back.
anymore, but...
The guy who orchestrated September 11th, 2001 was killed on my number 1, May 2nd, 2011. The day the United States killed Osama bin Laden.
Ooh. You went that route. I did see that, and I'm glad it's a news story, and I probably should have thrown it on there, being that Memorial Weekend. That is a good number 1. I didn't think you're going to go there. I did do a history though in number 1, and Eddington confirms the theory of relativity. He confirmed it.
How did I miss that one?
I don't know. That's what I thought you had number 1, but
wow,
your number 1 was a good one. I do.
That one is really, really good. I didn't. How did I miss that?
I don't know. You're the history buff, not me. So
So
that's the events. All right. So let's get into our last 2 topics. Both topics are going to, kind of honor a certain person, but we don't like to honor people, or I don't know how to explain it, but we're definitely going to do Tina Turner, who passed away a few weeks ago.
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
I was going to say a couple days ago. So we're going to, our first list is going to be top 5 Tina Turner songs. So,
oh God, I gotta go back now. Okay, cool.
This one, we could have all five, but I think we'll probably have three. But she had a lot. She had a lot. So you're number five.
My number five. You know, I don't. I know the song. I've heard the song. To me, I enjoy the song. I don't know much else about the song, and that's "Private Dancer."
All right, so we're starting off 1-for-1 because my number five is Private Dancer. Again, like you said, you know the song, you've seen her sing it, you've heard her sing it. You probably, I don't know, if you know the song, you probably dance to it. But yeah, Private Dancer, 1984. You're number
Oh,
four.
you've got the years. I don't. I don't have the
Yeah,
years.
I put the years down. I don't know why.
They made a movie about this song, with the title of this song, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the Tina Turner biopic. I can't remember the Ike and Tina Turner biopic. And it's funny that they use this song, but what's love got to do with it?
Yeah, great song. Great song.
Not on your list.
My number four is from 1989. Again, I mean, Tina Turner, I know her. I don't follow her career that much. I mean, you know, when I saw the song, I'm like, oh, okay, she sung the song. And it's simply the best. 1989. So, you're number three.
Yeah, your number four is my number three. Yeah, I remember that song, and I don't know how many times I hear that song, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's just one of those songs that just sticks in your head." Just it's ever since I heard she passed away. This is the song that is stuck in my head ever since.
Yeah.
And people are going to say, "Is why isn't it not your number one?" There's other reasons for that being not my number one.
Yeah, like I said, this list could have went all over the place. Number three, we'll go 1983. Let's Stay Together. I think that was a duet, but I can't think of who she sang it with. If not, it's my number two. It was a duet, but yeah, Let's Stay Together at number three.
Yep, we're not 5 for 5.
Okay,
I can 5 for 5 at this point.
all right.
Yeah.
You're number two.
My number two. I love this song. Absolutely, absolutely love this song. And to think she plays the bad guy in the movie that the song is from, and it's so great. And when you watch Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, the third Mad Max movie, she plays the bad guy, and it is so great. And it's "We Don't Need Another Hero."
I almost put that one on there.
So we're definitely not. We're barely 3 for 3 at this point.
Okay, we're 2 for 4.
We're 2 for 2.
Or 2 for 3.
No, we're 2 for 3 right now. Yeah.
But no, I almost put that one on there, and I'm just like, no. Number two, 1960. I think this was the duet I was talking about. That's a Fool in Love.
Yeah, we're definitely not. It is. It is. You're guaranteed not 3 for 5.
All right. You're number one.
We're not guaranteed 4 for 5 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we'll be 3 for 5.
Yeah, we should be.
Yeah.
My number one, and this one kind of, I'll guarantee you, if Ryan's still watching, he'll know exactly what I mean here in a minute. Uh-oh. Where I may make him cry.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay. For the longest time, we were at my sister's wedding.
Uh-oh.
And for the longest time, we had aunts and uncles on my mom's side always saying, "Did you ever see your dad dance?" And we're like, no, because we never thought of my dad being much of a dancer, much of that kind of.
I never thought your dad is a dancer.
No, we didn't either. My sister can tell you there are days where my sister has seen my dad dance the Macarena in his underwear. Believe me, I wish I were a fly on that wall. Um, and it's I never dad's not gonna dance. Dad's not gonna dance. And they're like, you never saw your dad dance to Tina Turner? And I'm
Uh-oh.
like, no, never, not even once. So they got this. We for my sister's wedding and a reception, we had this. We had a karaoke. We had a karaoke, and I believe me, it's a lot better than when you're your own entertainment, and it's better than it's.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe it's a lot better than a DJ. And
Yep.
nothing against DJs. Sometimes making your own fun is a whole lot more fun. And we used to have my aunt Sharon and my uncle Dale and my uncle Randy and my aunt Tammy and my uncle Joe always made the comment, "Oh, you need to see your dad dance the Proud Mary, and you had to do it." I'm like, "Oh, he'll never do it." And it happened on my sister's wedding. December, I'm going to get this date wrong. December 4th, 2004. It's either 4th or 8th. It's not my wedding anniversary. I don't care. So they put Proud Mary on, and my dad starts dancing. And it to me is the ugliest, but yet the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Is there video of this?
And what's that?
Is there video of this?
There is not a video of this.
Oh man, I would love to have seen that day.
This is one of those nights that it kind of brings a little bit out in a lot of people. And it was an amazing night. I think that was the greatest gift my sister and brother-in-law had ever gotten. And we say, and I say that because my brother and Ryan and I sang "Hero" for everybody at the reception, and nobody in my family has ever heard us sing. But yet, my dad dancing is still to me the greatest gift I think my dad ever gave my sister and my brother-in-law on that day. Until my brother gave my dad a concussion.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna say he did it. He kicked my dad's feet from underneath him by accident. And to this day, and it's gonna be on tape, Ryan. I'm gonna tell you right now, you didn't touch him. He tripped over his own feet. The man is 60-some years old and he tripped over his own feet. Actually, I think he was 60-some. And he got a concussion because we know he not a drop of alcohol in this man. And I'm going to the bathroom and puking his guts out. That's why I know it's a concussion. But for years, everybody had asked me if we had ever seen Dad dance to Proud Mary, and not until that night. That's why Proud Mary is my number one.
Okay, good story. I'll have to go listen to that one again and kind of see why your dad enjoyed dancing to it. So nope. Oh, Ryan's arguing. Okay, we might have to have a C2C court show or something. But my number one's your number four. 1984 is What's Love Got to Do with It. You know, probably one of the most iconic Tina Turner songs I can think of. Yeah. So, but rest in peace. I mean, you know, a couple days ago, I know it was shocking to me. I ain't gonna lie when I saw
I'll
that.
be honest. When I heard Tina Turner died, it kind of was like a kick in the face, kind of like, because I know how much my dad liked Tina Turner. It was the same. It was almost the same kick in the face that I got when Prince had died.
Yeah.
Because Dad was a big Prince fan too, and I was like, oh, I I didn't cry with Tina Turner, but I bawled my eyes out when Prince died.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on.
Let's bring the show down even further.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the show down a little bit, but honor those who have passed away. Of course, we're gonna honorable mention Tina Turner and Jim Brown. Most recently, those two iconic in their industry should definitely be number one on this list. 1, 2, without shout out.
1A, 1B.
One exactly. So this is a list. Looking through it, we could have done a whole show on of famous people that have passed on. Another honorable mention because I brought up his movie Field of Dreams. Ray Latoura died May.
Ray Liotta.
Liotta, yep. He also died in May, and I didn't have him on my list. I saw him, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, that's the guy." When I said Field of Dreams, I'm like, "Wait a minute, there's a tie there." So yeah, another honorable mention. There could be a lot of honorable mentions. I mean, we could probably talk forever on this. So let's go with it. It's gonna be interesting.
Go ahead. I give you the floor.
Okay, well, I'll go number one.
Yeah, number one.
I'm gonna go with a couple football icons. One a coach, one a linebacker. And if you talk to somebody that used to be associated with our network, he thought the linebacker was a bench player. So number 5, I'm going Junior Seau and Don Shula. Uh-oh.
No, I don't have him on my list. I'll tell you right now, I don't have him on my list. But they said Junior Seau was a bench player.
Yeah, you haven't saw the episode yet?
I don't think I want to at this point.
Yes, we were doing. I forgot what we were doing, and talking about Seau came up, and a certain somebody that makes weird comments thought Junior Seau was wondering why Junior Seau was a Hall of Famer when he was a bench player. So
same reason why Don Shula was a Hall of Famer when he was just a water boy.
Yeah. All right, you're number 5.
My number 5. I went to the world of wrestling, which I'm going to guess is on your list somewhere. Okay. Man, I was lucky enough to see wrestle in front of me when he was in Milwaukee, Over the Edge. You can briefly see me if you download the video.
I will have to.
I'll explain it to us. I know we're running short on time. Over the Edge, the fire goes up. I'm over here.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm wearing I had a Steve Austin shirt on, so I'm wearing black, so it don't matter.
Okay.
But he was part of the Nation of Domination, part of the greatest wrestling family in WWF, Calgary Stampede wrestling history. Did you forget about the Blackheart?
Wow.
Owen Hart.
Yes, I did. I ain't gonna lie. And I knew it was coming up because they've been talking about it. I don't know why. It must have been one of those things. Yeah. Oh, man. Like I said, this list could have went on forever. I must have just over-scrolled it.
That's all right. Mine just starts crushing from here on out.
Yeah, but my number 4, because I went first, is also wrestling related. And I'll never forget the phone call I got from my aunt. I think I was actually driving, as a matter of fact. Calling me, telling me that this wrestler died in a car accident in Florida. Heading somewhere, and they think it was a heart attack, which was confirmed. I think it was Florida. I could be wrong. But Randy Savage.
Yeah, if it is who I think it is. Yeah, it was in Florida.
Yeah, Randy Savage just out driving and had a heart attack and drove into the side of a bridge, I think it was. So
no, ran into a tree.
Was it a tree? Okay.
What? Clearwater.
All right. You're number 4.
Okay, my number 4. We go back to we go back in time to a time. So we go back to my number 1 from another part of my list, and we go to Osama bin Laden.
Good one. Good one. Yes. Again, I think I knew the name was on there. Again, um, yeah, I didn't put him on there because I don't know. I'm trying to be political and or not be political, but that is definitely an iconic moment in May, and definitely could have been the number one on a lot of people's list because of how infamous that was. So that's a good one. My number three, I'm going to go with probably back in the day, probably one of the music icon husband wife. Um, Watched the movie quite a bit. Walk the Line. June Carter Cash passed away in May. Your
I'm gonna
number.
my number three. Mine my next two are Italian, and my top one is a Corsican. He's from Corsica.
Okay.
I've seen two of these things. Well, probably one of if I were to say Italian, who is the most famous Italian you would think of?
Michelangelo.
Pretty close.
All
I
right.
went the other way. I went with another Ninja Turtle.
All right.
I went with Leonardo da Vinci.
Vinci. Yeah. Okay. All right. My number three. It was tough to pick. My list would have been totally different because these next four guys, I had to group together because they would have knocked off everybody on my list if I did it, except for my top one. But they're all iconic in their genre. Probably some of the coolest guys you'll meet, except for maybe the last one that I'll name. But you got Frank Sinatra, you got BB King, you got Sammy Davis Jr., and you got Little Richie, all passed away in the month of May. Hard to keep all those guys off of there without keeping other people on. So
I saw Sinatra, but I didn't see the other three.
yeah. You're number two.
Wow, I missed that. That's a tough three to miss. But I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah. But like I said, we could have done a whole list of. I mean, the whole show could have been dedicated to this. So
my number two. Let me see if I can get his name pronounced right before. Yeah, I know I live in Italy. I should be able to pronounce his name properly. But most people don't know him by his Italian name.
okay.
Everybody knows him by his Anglo-Saxon name, as everybody likes to say. But let me make sure I get this right. That's not his Italian name. He's from Genoa. Yep, already killed it. Cristoforo Colombo.
Okay.
Sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Christopher Columbus.
I missed that one. Yeah. But again, you're the historian. I kind of skipped through a lot of those historical ones. So no, that's a good one. My number one. I got to go with the Homer take on this one. Did not get to see him play, but he's iconic in the state of Minnesota with the Minnesota Twins, Washington Senators before they moved here. And that's the killer, Harmon Killebrew. So you're number one.
My number one. I first of all, I was shocked to find out he was from Corsica and not from France, because everybody knows him as the former king of France. But when you find out he's Napoleone Bonaparte, you kind of go, yeah. And I've been lucky enough to go to a place where they actually Napoleon Bonaparte slept in a man's bed, and I've seen the bed. Napoleon Bonaparte.
All right. No, that's a good list. I mean, you're the historian. I mean, some I left off I know it's not a human being, but it's an animal. The first Kentucky or Triple Crown winner in horse racing, Seattle Slew.
Really?
You got yeah.
Holy hell!
You got Mo from the Three Stooges. I know we're semi NASCAR fans. Bobby Unser. I mean, they're this list could have went on and on and on, and we
Yeah.
probably still would have did over an hour show. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, Tim, you got your final thoughts?
This was a tough one. This one was kind of emotionally. It was a roller coaster, but just doing the homework for this show was a bit tough. Whoever's watching, please don't be afraid to send us some topics because we're not afraid to do them. You just have to do them. You have to give them to us.
Yep. No, definitely. Thanks for Ryan and Tim Sarge. Who else was out here? J Mac, Teresa, your cousin. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, just send us a topic. I mean, we got some of our favorites that we'll do monthly, but it's always good to hear from you guys to see what you want us to do, and maybe we can tie it in because the show's about you guys. So this week, let's see, today's Tuesday, so Between the Ropes, we'll cover Night of Champions and Battleground, and I mean, it
Double
was
or
exciting. What's that?
Double or Nothing? No.
Possibly Double or Nothing. Not too many of us watch AEW as much as that one. They think it's childish. So, but and then we got hopefully returning the Cougars in the day with the Cougars. I know we've had a few weeks off. Just summer is tough. Especially during the work week. Thursday is Creeping at Rio, and then Saturday will be morning. No, I'm not on deck. On deck with myself, Tim, Crispy Bacon, Big Dog Greg. We'll recap some of the games and teams and how they're doing in the Major League Baseball. So, with that being said, don't forget Four Bros Friday nights. If you haven't watched it, you gotta watch it. It is late night, I understand that, but check it out on replay because we can't talk about some of the stuff we talk about on daytime. So, and Tim can testify to that. So, with that being said, that's Tim. I'm Big B. We'll see you next week on C2C Rankem. Have a good one.